Physical media is cool. Really. And not just games, but games are cool too. But movies and TV series on DVD or Blu-ray and books and comic books and tabletop gaming books. I could have just said books and it would have been all-encompassing, but shush. And my personal favorite, music. Music on so many formats. As an A-side, you used to be a rock radio DJ and you love music, and why is your channel mostly about games? And I don't have an answer to that question that I just asked myself, but it is something for future me to think about. Vinyl and tapes and CDs.
Just answer this one question. Do you like tapes or CDs?
Do I like tapes and CDs? CDs.
CDs?
Yeah.
Well, CDs nuts in your motherfucking mouth.
Okay, 3 formats isn't so many, but shut up. How we doing? Radio Geek here, and this video is obviously about physical media. It's not just the nostalgia aspect of it, although there is that, and depending on who you ask, that may or may not be super important to you. But there's more than that. And the most basic thing, I think, is you can hold it in your hand. This DVD collection of the Clerks animated series, which may or may not be a thing that you knew existed, but now you definitely know exists, it's mine. I can physically hold this case in my hand. I can read the blurbs on the back. I can throw it up in the air and catch it if I want. I'm not gonna, because I'm not confident I can make that look cool. But I could if I wanted to. And I can take the disc and put it in a Blu-ray player or a DVD player or any number of consoles that play those things and watch it as many times as I want without the fear of it being taken away from me by some corporate executive who had a bad day. And I bought this used for very cheap. I can't remember exactly how much I paid for it, but it was not a lot. I can take this game right here and play it in its original, unaltered form, on its original hardware. I don't know why I'd want to. This is not a good game. You should not play this. But I can do it. I don't want to, but I can. Okay, that's better. I can play this game as many times as I want in its original unaltered form on its original hardware. But radio, you've said it yourself, retro gaming is expensive. Okay, fair point. Bad example. Okay, here we go. I can play this game forever without having to worry about whether it's going to get delisted or the servers are going to get shut down or whatever. I don't have to keep paying a fee every month to read this book. This is a book called Respire. It was written by a very good friend of mine named Cody Pro. And you should read this book. I bought it once and I don't have to keep paying for it. Actually, now that I think about it, I think he sent me this copy for free, but that's not the point. Okay, this book, this was... Okay, actually, I think this was a gift from a friend. Okay, this book. This is another very good book. I'm looking forward to finishing this series. I paid for this book, and I only had to do it one time. No subscription required, no clunky app to download, and no threat of delistment or revoked access. The same with this comic book, and this one, and this one. And you get the idea. I can sit at a real table with my friends with real game books that don't need to be downloaded or have an internet connection to be accessed. Rolling real dice, playing Pathfinder or Shadowrun or Warhammer or whatever. I'm not looking at my friends through a screen. They're there, having a good time, hanging out. When I buy an album, no matter what format it's on, unless I buy it used, I know that most of the money, well, some of the money is going to be going to the artist, not all of it, because the music industry works in very, very stupid ways. But more than they would if I had listened to the album through Spotify or whatever other streaming service. Not to mention that there's just something about spinning a vinyl record that no digital format will ever recreate. And in the case of CDs, back in the day, there was this thing called enhanced CD, where when you put the CD into your computer, you could access all kinds of cool things. You could access behind the scenes videos. Sometimes there were music videos, interviews, all kinds of cool shit, similar to like the special features on a DVD or a Blu-ray. And speaking of music videos, back in the day, bands and artists would put out live videos of their concerts. Right here, I have Alice in Chains, MTV Unplugged. This was another gift from a friend. And I used to have, I wish I still did. I don't anymore, and that makes me sad. I had VHS copies of Ozfest 2000 and Family Values 98. Those were great. Those concerts were recorded for home video, and you just don't see that anymore. All this isn't to say that digital media doesn't have its place. There are very probably some valid reasons why you might want that book or movie digitally. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I'm sure they're there. Comment down in the thing. Maybe you just don't have the shelf space for it. That's totally fair. I don't have a solution to that. Maybe you want to try before you buy, listening to the album or watching the movie before you spend the money on it and ultimately decide it's not for you. Also, fair. That's what video rental stores were for back in the day. I miss those. Maybe you've heard somewhere on the internet about the dreaded disc rot. Well, I assure you that unless you either don't take care of your stuff or you're putting all of your media on cheap blank discs, that does not happen anywhere near as often as the internet would like you to believe. Maybe you think it's too expensive, and it can be, sure. But I got most of my movie collection at a thrift store for like $0.25 each. And then there's your local library. They've got tons and tons of stuff, I promise you. And again, no subscription required for any of that. I mean, you have to get a library card, but that's free. Maybe you want to play that tabletop game online because your friends aren't local. Again, also totally fair. There are some very good reasons why you might want digital media, and a lot of it is very fair. But what I'm saying here is it should not be the norm. We should not be forced into a dozen different subscription services where the thing that we want to watch or read or listen to might not be available on that thing tomorrow. And even if it was, let's face it, it's been compressed to hell anyway, so it's not going to look or sound very good. As for PC games, you can't even get those physically anymore. Thanks, Gabe. I bought a big box copy of Baldur's Gate 3, and the disc only contained a Steam installer. I was very upset about that. So if you're a PC gamer, you have absolutely no choice unless you want to pay entirely too much money for some manufactured scarcity bullshit from Limited Run or whoever else. But that comes with its own set of problems, and this isn't the video for that. Anyway, that's it. I just wanted to talk for a bit about physical media and why I like it, at least some of the reasons anyway. I'm sure I left stuff out. I made notes for this in the middle of the night, but also why I think you should like it too. And at the end of the day, or even the beginning of the day, I'm not sure why people use that phrase, do what you like. I can't tell you what to do. I'm not your real dad. But I hope this just at least gets you thinking about the pros and cons of physical media and digital media so that you can make better decisions about what you like and what works for you. I started making a video about Quake and its expansions, but then I got a soft lock in Dissolution of Eternity and got annoyed. So that's kind of on hold for a while. I also want to think about that question I asked myself earlier, why is my channel focused on games when my background is in rock radio and music journalism? I still don't have an answer to that, but it is something for me to think about. But anyway, thanks for watching. I got a split. Have a good one.